Career momentum loss. A client who started strong on a goal and quietly stalled, and the chain that reactivates movement without overdiagnosing why. Picture a client who started strong. They had a career goal, real clarity, genuine commitment, early traction. Things were moving. And then somewhere in the middle of it, they quietly stalled. They're still technically pursuing the goal. They haven't abandoned it. They're just not moving. Sessions have drifted from building momentum into processing the stall, analyzing it, talking around it, waiting for the feeling to shift. This scenario is about how you break that pattern and why the solution is often simpler than the story the client is telling about it. Pause here. A client with a clear goal who's quietly stalled. What's your link 1? What does it produce for link 2? Build it, then compare. Okay, here's the chain. Before the chain starts, 1 check. Confirm a clear goal exists. Sometimes what presents as a momentum problem is actually a goal problem. The client never had full clarity on what they were moving toward, and what stalled isn't momentum. It's the goal itself. The foundation was shaky from the start, and the stall is the evidence. If that's what you find, this chain doesn't apply. Back up to naming the purpose. Module 3 work before you start planning again. If the goal is clear and real, and the client genuinely wants to pursue it, then the problem is motion, not direction. That's where this chain starts. 5 tools: project planning template, month-by-month goals, growth mindset, action plan, overcoming barriers, fear to action, short, deliberately. Momentum problems rarely need rediscovery. The client already knows where they're going. They've stopped going there. What they need is structure, a reframe of the stall story, and forward motion. A long discovery chain can actually extend a stall by giving it more territory to live in. Keep this chain tight and action-oriented. The phase is action moving into review, not discovery. The project planning template restructures the goal, not redefines it, restructures it. Takes what exists and produces concrete steps. What exactly needs to happen, in what order, with what resources. Most stalled clients have a goal and no scaffold. The steps were never made explicit. Month-by-month goals consumes those steps and produces a timeline. Now the goal is broken into a sequence the client can see across time, which changes the relationship to it. It goes from a destination to a path. Growth mindset action plan then addresses the stall story, because when momentum is lost, there's almost always a narrative running underneath it. I should have made more progress by now, or maybe this isn't really for me, or I've tried this before and it didn't work. That narrative is often the actual blocker. Overcoming barriers and fear to action handle the last mile, removing what's in the way and producing one concrete next step. Discernment layer. Phase is action and review. You're not diagnosing whether this client should want the goal. You're reactivating movement toward it. Intent is action. The chain is short because momentum problems rarely need more complexity than rescaffolding and reframe. Which 5 moves? Read the moment matters here, because the instinct when someone stalls is to diagnose, to ask what happened, to go looking for insight. And sometimes that's exactly what's needed, but often it extends the stall. Reading this moment correctly means recognizing when a client needs action structure more than they need another conversation about why they stopped. Hold presence shows up around the growth mindset work because when a client names their stall story, it can be heavy. Give that moment room before moving to barriers and fear. Here's the underlying principle. When a client has stalled, the instinct to diagnose why can extend the stall. Going deeper feels productive, and sometimes it is, but often the client already knows enough to move. What they need is someone to help them build forward again. A short action chain is frequently faster than a long discovery chain. Confirm the goal exists, re-scaffold the steps, address the story, then move. That's the whole coaching move here, and it fits in 5 tools. There's a read skill embedded in this, distinguishing between a stall that needs insight and a stall that needs structure. They feel similar from the outside. One has a clear goal and a missing scaffold. The other has an unclear goal and a lot of processing. They need completely different chains.